Hi, my name is Bob Carroll. I'm the Executive Vice President at Permanent Solutions Labor Consultants and your host for today's episode of Employee Relations Words of Wisdom. Welcome to the show. Hey, guess what? We're on the home stretch, everybody. We're coming up on Labor Day weekend, the end of summer. What a crazy summer it's been. I think everybody watching will agree. It's been the craziest summer in my lifetime, and it's just absolutely insane. So we're going into Labor Day weekend. So most people know Labor Day weekend, like I said, is a celebration of labor in the United States. But why is it so important in 2020 for businesses to be hyper aware of what's going on with the labor movement now? Let me explain this to you. We've had a summer of hell. We've had COVID. We've had politics. We've had BLM. We've had protests. We've had riots. And I remember talking to our president of our company, and neither of us dreamed that what's going on in our country would last as long as it has. But it did. And here's the problem that you have if you own a business or run a business or you're working in HR. Right now, the way things are emotionally and in the heads of people in society, not just the workplace, but society, are walking on eggshells every single day. Workers are emotionally run down, they're drained. They got things coming at them from both sides, left and right, every single day. We're living in a period of fear. And guess what? Fear is an emotion, and fear is an emotion that unions capitalize on. You look at history, and you'll note that the peaks of unionization happen in times of crises. World War II. We had 9/11, happened with 9/11. We had H1N1, happened with H1N1. This started happening back when COVID was announced back in January, but we were too blind as a society to see what this would do and crush the spirit of the American workers. The unions want that spirit crushed. They want it crushed because when they are emotionally done, they are ripe on a vine, ready to be picked. And if you as a business owner aren't on top of that, you are a potential victim of unionization. If you want to stay union free, I'm telling you, in 2020, this is the year you've got to take it seriously. If you're a CEO, you run a business, you run a hospital, whatever you do, first thing, get out on the floor and talk to your people. Talk to your workers. Find out how they really feel. I'm telling you, it's good to go out on the floor. Now, why aren't people going out on the floor? They're afraid right now to say the wrong thing. That's the worst thing we could be doing as leaders. We got to be out there talking to employees every single day, from the president and CEO down to the last supervisor that was hired. You've got to be out communicating, and you really have to have your finger on the pulse of the worker. If you don't, you could be a potential victim. So after you're out on the floor and you realize things aren't as rosy as you thought they could be, I mean, you could even know there was a problem, but you didn't know how bad the problem actually was. Because remember, unions do not announce that they are going to organize you. They keep that underground. And even if you have a tip, just a little bit of information, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. You're not seeing everything that's down below the water that's happening to you. And if your supervisors are not trained and they do not know how to communicate with employees that are feeling this fear, that have this emotional breakdown, and mental health, by the way, is very important right now. And I hope companies around I know some companies are taking it seriously, but unfortunately, not all companies are taking it as seriously as they should. You got to be there for your employees. You got to be empathetic for them. Strategic empathy. So as we go into Labor Day, know this. Know and understand. You have got to earn your union-free status. That is something that you earn. Maintaining that status is a right. But you put yourself in a position, in a predicament that is very tough to get out of if you're not proactive, especially in 2020. This is a time to reflect. Do you have a firewall between you and the union? If you can honestly say yes, then I want to hear from you. Because I don't know anybody that has a guarantee that the union won't come knocking on their door. I do know that you can build that firewall, though. And that comes from communication and training. Now, we can offer the training. We can even help with the communication. But at the end of the day, we need you as an owner, you as a leader, need to know that you're going in the right direction. Otherwise, you're flying blind without instruments. And is that really where you want to go on Labor Day weekend? So think about that. I want to hear what you have to say. Do you have that firewall? What are you doing to ensure that the unions don't come knocking on your door? What are you doing to be empathetic with your employees? So let's go into this Labor Day with a fresh attitude. Summer's done. Summer's almost gone. What's the fall going to be like? Just so you know, there will be an uptick in union organizing activity. It's up to you on what side of the playing field you're on. That's it for this week's episode of Employee Relations Words of Wisdom. I'll see you next week.